Okay, so picking up where we left off, sorry. When the students are on their week view, they have the option of making goals. It's really our goal that students are setting 2 to 3 goals per week, I would say, for any range of subjects. So it's okay if they have one goal in English, one goal in social studies, a goal in math, or so on. But what they're going to do when they set goals is go to their week view, and it really is a simple process for them to set a goal. They're just going to add the goal for the day that they want. They can make it either about projects or power focus areas. And I'm viewing as a student right now, so I can't really click and make it happen to the full extent. But then they're going to tell us what kind of goal that they want. So I just did for a focus area, and I would say to make a plan or study and take notes. I'm going to say pass a content assessment, and then it said how will you pass this content assessment, and it's going to actually link it here to a learning strategy that students can use. So they could do practice process of elimination, how to manage their test anxiety, or they could just skip this step. I would say early on, you definitely want students to be investigating these learning strategies. So I'm going to put process of elimination. Later, that student can go into that learning strategy and look at that, and I'll talk about that in just a second. The last step of this goal is going to be what percentage they want to pass it with, an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, or 10 out of 10. Let's just say the student wants a 10 out of 10. It would then say create goal. It's not going to let me do it because I'm not actually the student, but I wanted to show you that process. Sometimes I'll have students at least 2 days a week. I won't let them leave mentoring until they have that part done. So it counts as their exit ticket, and it works really well for accountability. So the goal setting is not only for students to keep themselves accountable, but it's also for mentors to keep up with the progress of their students. Another thing just to show you is that you can view as any of your students or mentees, just to show you that. When you're done, you're going to press stop viewing. And it's going to click you on back to your mentor page. You can see all of your mentees' goals here. These are all of my mentees, and some of them already started goal setting. It looks like Mr. Huff has already started that process with a lot of his students in his class, but that's something that we need to develop and work on for the other subjects this week and next week. One more thing that I wanted to show you is we just talked about those learning strategies. So if I'm going to go in as a student, I'm going to say that I am Zoe Morris because she's in my mentoring group. When I click on as her, they're going to have a learning strategies over here in their resources. They're going to be able to look at the learning strategies, and there's different things. These are things that we want to be using during PLT time and during mentoring. So I might send out, I will send out a lesson plan for next Monday about how to set SMART goals, because we don't want students just to put, I want to pass a test. We want them to be very specific, measurable, attainable, reasonable, and timely. So when we go through that process and they look at these strategies, students can look at the how, when, why, and tips that they can use here. It also is going to give them some examples and posters to look at, while also giving them tables, examples, and videos. So when you as a mentor maybe see a deficit in your goal setting, it might be a great time to review some of those SMART goals, and there's all these resources right here that you can refer to. From your teacher view, that's going to be very easy. I'll show you how to get there in just a second. That's going to be under your educator tools, under learning strategies, and it's going to take you to the same place. If you haven't checked out the educator tools yet, this is a place where you can see lots of things. Our school data, habits of success, a resource bank for students who need differentiated instruction, the learning strategies that we just talked about, and also a place to catch up on any of the professional development you might have missed this far. So if you are new to Summit and you want to kind of check out different things, there's all of the summer training sessions that are here too. So I just really wanted to review that because we will need it where mentees are getting in the habit of when and where to do their goal setting. One last thing is that when you start to do your check-ins with your students, you can easily just click on their name. It's going to prompt you to start. I'm not actually checking in, but we can do it just to see. As you go through, it's going to it's going to push you through these prompts where you know that you want to greet your mentee, explain to them this is judgment free. These are things that you want to talk about, share a little bit about yourself. Here are some ideas of questions you can get to know them, thank them for sharing, and you can add notes here too, which we've talked about before. You can share the notes with that student. You can also go through and kind of talk about, you requested feedback for exponents. I see. How's that going? Are you doing well with exponents? Oh, I saw you took the diagnostic for storytelling devices, and maybe talk about how they did on storytelling devices and maybe what they need to study. Those are going to be great conversation starters for you and your student to talk about. Again, mentoring is not purely academic. It is also about being able to get to know your students inside the classroom and outside. Tyler, it's at the top. So I'm going to be posting this and sending it to you. Let me know if you have any questions. These are things that you want to start addressing this week with your mentees. Thank you very much.